Okay, matrix. That's actually playing the arrangement right there. You see arrange. We can have the arrangement on the top or not have it at all. So we got that little thing that we can tick off, and then you don't see the arrangement. And you can start making beats straight away from here, but we'll get into that in a second. So the idea of Akai is that we can have an arrangement view and come to the clip to create ideas in the clips and then bring whatever's in the clip back into the arrangement. So the arrangement is more like a sketch pad where you design ideas, and then you'll end up having a bunch of clips here that you've designed, and then send those designs into the arrangement. So that's how Akai is selling the product. I feel like it can be used as a song mode as well. And I feel like all these could be just sections of the song. So when you see these things here, means that the clip is playing. Right now, they're here, but it doesn't mean anything. I think that's just a glitch. If you notice, one way that you can be sure of is if you go into the main screen, if you see arrangement on the side of your tracks, that's what's playing. The arrangement is playing. Okay, so let's say I want to work with this beat. What I would do here is just duplicate this, double the length, and double the length, and once again, double the length. So 64 bars, that's what I'm working here with. And let's say I want to just work on the first bars. I could just open the locate and say 4, do it, and now close that, and I'm working. It's going to loop just those 4 bars and back again. So take the loop off if you want, just leave it on. So let's say I want to work in the intro. So this is going to be my intro right here, right? I can say that, look, I want to work on my drums right now. So you can go to the grid and edit the grid. And the grid now is connected to the arranger, to the arrangement window. But let's say I want to work on the clips. I want to work some ideas, and then I want to bring those ideas back into the arrangement. What I can do is this. I can say this. I hold that and I'll say copy to clip. Okay. If you do that, it's going to tell me where I want to place the clip. See, it's giving me a few options. It says clip, and those options right there, that's the row, okay? And there's so many rows that you can pick from. A lot of people are asking how many rows you can have. That many. So there's a lot of rows in there that you can use. So I just want to place it on the first row, okay? So 1. Can I double tap that? I could do that as well. Okay, so 1. And I'm going to do it. Okay, do it. So what happened right now is I copied this 4-bar section of the drums into a clip. If I go into the matrix, there it is. Now, once I tap the clip, it starts playing the clip and not the arrangement. Okay, so that clip right there on the top is purely just for show. You can't edit that. You can't do anything with that. If you hold it, nothing happens. You can't edit that. So right now, you're playing the clip. You're not playing the arrangement. If I go into the arrangement window, see that you got that play icon right there? That's telling me that what is playing is effectively the clip. So these tracks are playing what's in the arrangement right here, and this is playing in the clip area. So they are 2 separate sequencers you can call. You can say that they're 2 separate sequencers. The sequencer on the matrix follows the BPM, okay, follows the BPM of the main screen, that BPM, but it's in itself separate from the length of what's in the sequencer, okay? So you can have the matrix clip here have its own length. So I can say that this could be looping 3 bars and the arrangement window is looping 64 bars. Whatever bar count you want, 2 bars, 4, 6, 17, whatever. And this is going to be looping its own length, but it's still following the BPM. You go into the grid. This is showing what's in the clip, not what's in the arrangement. So if the track is playing the clip matrix, whatever shows on the grid is from the clip. So if I edit something, I'm going to cut this, right? So shift, delete. I'm going to delete this. If you go into the arrangement, you see that nothing was deleted right there. But if I go into the clip, that was deleted. Let's say I'm on the clip, I'm working the clip right here. I want to delete that too, so I'm going to delete all this. Let me just do that. Shift delete. I want to delete the bass as well. I could do that from the arrangement. Of course, where's my bass? Right there. So let me get into the grid. So let me get to that main bass. I want to be in the arrangement. I'll go back into the grid. There it is. Right there, bass, that's what I want to work in, grid, and I want to get rid of that little note. It's a loop, okay? So let's just shift delete. Oh, I like that. What I can do right now is hold it and say copy to arrangement. What position do you want this to start? Because I'm working at the beginning of the sequence, I'll just say start at bar 1, and I want to replace whatever's in there. You could merge as well, but I want to replace everything. Good. So I just selected that. Now everything's back to the arrangement. I can go into the arrangement window. That is off. There's no play icon right there, and see that all my MIDI notes have been replaced by the clip. Right, so now I can keep on going and start working from here if I want. And just keep going like that into sections, and go into the locate, say where you want the loop to start, and like that you can be working throughout the arrangement window. If you want to sketch an idea in the clip matrix, you go there, you do your little clip, go into the matrix, say I want to work right here, create a clip right there. And again, now what's playing, those sections of the arrangement are playing, but you are now effectively using the track of the piano, and you can put ideas in there. Now, once you create a clip like that, it always defaults back to the amount of bars that you want to work with. But I can always increase that straight from there. So here on the clip, you can edit the length. You can edit the launch modes. We'll get into that. You can edit the quantization. And you can also say if it's in the legato mode or not. We're going to get into that as well. So you can create a clip straight from the matrix and play it. And now this is empty, and you can start and add stuff to it right here. And if we go into the arrangement window, it's playing straight from there. Let's say I actually want this to start on 5. Right, let's say. If I start recording overdubbing here, you're not recording into the matrix, you're not recording into the arrangement, you're recording into the clip. So let's go. Right? Okay, let's actually see that clip go right there. That's what we recorded. Let's say we like that. Bring that into this section or to another section if you want. Let's say, let me get into that arrangement right there. And I don't want to drop it right there. I want to drop it at bar number 9. Okay, I don't need to move that. I can just leave this here if I want and go into that matrix and say, okay, copy to arrangement and start bar 9. Okay, replace, do it. So right now, let's get into that arrangement and just open this up a little bit and actually start playing from bar number 7. Changes. So maybe I want to delete what's in here, and I can just say this. So let's go. Right, it's select that and delete. Let's go back to 8. That's why I love these right here so much, because I can just do this and just play from wherever I'm at in the grid. So I don't like that little sound right there. I can get rid of that, and I think that is coming from here. So I don't want that. Double tap that. That's the note right there. Select that and just delete that. Back. So you can be doing either editing here or editing in the clip and then copy it into the matrix, all right? That's how you work between the arrangement window and the clip matrix. You can either edit here or edit in the clip if you want to go deep into some sort of things. If it's just a little edit, maybe edit here. If you want to create some real changes to your sequence, maybe do that on another sequence and then copy it here, or do it in a clip matrix and then copy it into here. So I've loaded the project back again so we can start fresh here. So because you can't copy an entire sequence to a scene, you have to go individually. You can either do it from here. I'm on track 1, you do that, and it's going to copy automatically to the next available clip. So if we go into the arrangement, you see that it copied to the next available clip. So you can't do it here. Unfortunately, you have to go into the main screen and do that. So you can either do it from the main screen, right, and say copy, and has now placed this to a new clip again. There we go. Or you can do it from the arranger right there, say copy to number 1, do the same there. And you have to go clip by clip, which to me just seems like wasting time, and copy to clip, do it. So right now, if we go into the matrix, we have that row. And now we're working in the clip matrix, right? And if we don't want that, we can just get rid of that, don't show it, and now we only see clips and we're purely working in the clip area. Okay, so how do we copy? If we go and hold a scene, we got all these options. We can insert rows, we insert and capture. We got all these things. We're going to work through these things. We got settings as well. Here you can name the scene, and you can apply to all clips, a color to all the clips of the row right there to the scene, right? And you got follow actions as well. You can say, what does a scene do after it plays? Does it go to which row? Does it go to a previous row? And so on. You got all these options right there. You also have to say the action time. So how long is it going to take for this action to take effect? Is it going to play just one bar, all the bars? Because each clip can have its own length, it's important to highlight how much is going to play before it jumps, because it could happen that you have clips with 4 bars and clips with 1 bar. So you got to say that how many bars is going to take for that follow action to take effect. So what I got to do is copy. I can copy, and I go to the next scene and paste. And now we have this right here. Okay, here you got the notes. If you're on the notes, you can play the sounds from the programs or from the tracks, okay? If you're on the clip launcher, then this becomes a clip launcher, and you can move like that, or up or down. Honestly, I thought that this could work as well, but it's not allowing me to go that way for some reason. So this turns into clip launching as well, and you can also turn this into row launching. You only got 2, 1, 2, it's pretty much it. Hold down shift, you got record arm as well if you want. Tap. If you tap on a clip, it starts playing. If you go record, it starts recording. There are some actions that you can take here. If you hold record down, you get this pop-up. Go into the settings, and there's all these ways that you can set the clips to record. So record to selection, that's what we're doing. Record launch, that's when once you tap it, it starts recording. So there are different ways to interact with the clip and to make the clip record. I'm not going to get into that. Let's go back here and just set how everything was. Okay, you got those options if you want to go in there, okay? Another thing about this, you got buses here as well. That's interesting for you to put effects in there. We're going to get into that maybe in another video. If not, maybe today we can do something like that. Okay, another thing is how these clips behave. So if you hold it down and go edit clip, you're now in the editing. Let's say how this is set to trigger, quantization is global, and you have a legato mode there as well, okay? And you can set it to loop. So if it's not looping, it will stop. Actually, let's play this. Stop one. It stopped, right? I had a drum loop playing because it was still, it's a long sample. I just haven't found a way to attribute these settings for all the clips. And I feel like there isn't one. I've been trying to search for one, but I just don't see it. Okay, so edit events takes you to the grid. Edit clip takes you to this clip section. So loop that. My God, I just wish I could change tracks straight from here. It takes such a long time just to change a track. You got so much space in there. Just put a number in there for you to change tracks. Or maybe just hold down the main and go to another track. So let's first go into the legato. Let's set all of these to legato, okay? Hold down this, go that one, legato, hold that, legato. Again, I wish there was a way just to switch all of them into one of these settings. So all of them are now legato, but that's just for the row that we're in, which is that one. Okay, so these clips are not in legato. Again, if we want to do that, so legato again, and we have to do it for all of these, which just seems like such hard work, man, for something. Like imagine if we have a big matrix clip session. Like, do we have to do this for all of them? Okay, so if we go into the matrix, what legato does, it starts, the next clip starts playing from where the playhead left on the previous clip. So that is my favorite way of working, okay? Is to have everything set to legato. If you want to play for everything from the beginning, just select the scene or just stop everything and play it back. But if I want to jump between two clips, I want the next clip to start playing from where I left the previous one. And that will give you a lot of options, especially for live performances. You don't have to always reset back to the initial position, back into the clip. And I want to set everything to toggle. So toggle is my favorite way of working. So go there, toggle, and toggle. So this is my favorite way to work, right? Have everything set to toggle and legato. No, the launch quantization, you can have it off or you can have it set to 16 notes. I think I prefer 16 notes, to be honest. Let's go into the matrix. That's the launch configuration, so that's the global. I want to set that to 16 notes. And if I go into my clips, I can just set this to global and it will be all 16s. So right now, if I go into the matrix and I can jump between tracks, they will keep on playing because I'm in the legato mode. And also turning the trigger to toggle will make you mute the clip straight from the clip. And it will keep on playing because it's in legato mode. So this to me is how I'm going to be working mostly, I think. Most of the times. I would love for those settings to be my preferred settings. I don't know if there's an option to leave it on like that, but if I have to do this every single time, it's going to be a pain. So if it's not in there, please, next update. If it's in there, please tell me it's in there. Okay. See how Toggle is doing that? Right. So you can stop the whole sequence. So basically you're doing the mute for the whole thing. And it seems that the mute is not MIDI. Sorry, it's not audio, but MIDI. So it mutes MIDI. Another interesting thing that if you have this set to mute right there, so let's say you're at the track mute right here, right? So you can use that. But if you set this to solo, then if you're in the clip matrix, it will solo and not mute. Let's take a snapshot. Snapshot. You got the icon right there. Now, what Snapshot just holds the settings in place. This doesn't, I think, go for effects as well, but what's in the edit. Okay, so let's say, so I'm gonna go for all, and I wanna, okay, so let's say we did something, we changed something, go back into the matrix. If I don't like it, just play this back again. If you do like it, push that back. Of course, I'm not going to do this to my music, or maybe I could. If you go back into the arrangement, if you want to keep that, hold it and say, clear snapshot. So if you clear the snapshot, it keeps those settings in there. So let's say you want to put a clip in an audio track. Let's just create an audio track right here. We've created it right there. Let's go into the load. Jazz loops, what is this? Okay, load, there you go. Now you load a loop into the clip straight away. So if you go into the matrix, we want to edit that, edit the clip. You can see you have it right there. So actually I was lucky with the pitch because it seems to be in pitch. Maybe it's because I created it and I'm always on the same pitch. Anyway, you want to edit the mixer, just lower it down. So you can load straight into the clip. Of course, you got to have a perfect loop as well. If not, you got to go into the sample edit and make sure you adjust this and make sure it works nice. But you can load straight into a clip and you can have that clip automatically warp. I think you can do that in the menu, and you should have something saying that it automatically warps. I don't know where it is, but you have an option for that. So let me go into the grid right here. Because we're in an audio track, this changes and we can select this. Okay, we can warp it, of course. It was better before. It's actually in sync right there. It's just because I created it. I just leave that audio length in the back there. Everything, it was probably recorded around the same BPM. If this is created by me, I'm always around the same BPM. But if not, you can warp it, right? And then you can change the BPM. You can say, oh, actually, I want this to fit right there. That's my BPM. And I'm honestly, the default, the super stretch is great. Of course, once you got this warped, you can tune it. So the ones we're playing right now, we can take those into a new row. So I'll go here and say capture. and it actually inserted this in that row and it moved the other one down. Okay, but let's say I didn't want that, so undo. And then you want to take that into a new row. So just select the row that you want, highlight it, and say insert and capture. And now it goes to that row. And I want to delete that from there, so I'll just say delete, okay. And basically now you're building on this. So it's easy for you just to copy rows or copy clips into new clips. So you can cascade down. To me, this is probably a song mode that I'm going to be working in. I really like it. As you notice, there is no song button on this MPC. If you go into the the menu, you still have the song mode right there. There's absolutely nothing new on this. I would probably say this looks just like the one on the MPC 60 with a few changes, a few small changes. So I'm assuming that this is going to go away. To me, it's kind of okay because the Matrix to me is basically a song mode. I can always go down and create my song straight from here. Okay, so I'm going to leave it right now here, and hopefully you got an idea of how everything works here. There's a lot of things that, to me, I think Akai just needs to do, like sending a full sequence to a scene. It's having more options to edit in the grids here, in the Matrix grid. So like I could just shift, highlight, and drag to another one to copy. I don't know, like just better things. Then you have to be doing this, or, you know, to go into the clip. There's no clip here. There's no button for this window. There's certain things that could have a faster workflow, okay? Especially right here, if you're in the grid. Wish I could just jump between tracks straight from here. I wish there was a global change for all to set all to Legato or set all to toggle. Stuff like that, I would really appreciate to see it. But that's how you work with this right now. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give me some questions below. Thank you so much. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.